Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Midlife with Mystics and Misfits. I'm Cece.
And I'm Jen.
And I'm Jen. Welcome to our podcast where you get to be unapologetically you the whole entire time.
Mm,
And that's what this podcast is all about. So come join our conversation about unapologetically being us.
I love that. I'm still getting used to the name.
I know, it's a good tongue twister,
It really is. I'm
right?
like, Okay, we got this.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's so us. Are you misfit or mystic today?
Today I'm gonna wear both hats.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm like, I feel like I'm a little bit in between
Yeah.
both of those things.
Yeah. It was one of those days where I'm always a misfit, but I might click on the mystic hat a little bit today.
All right. Well,
How was
getting
your
it into
day?
your it was good. It's good. I made the best protein pancakes ever.
Oh yeah, because you're doing this whole meat protein diet, right? What's it called? Carnivore or something?
It's kind of carnivore. I mean, I'm not full carnivore, like I'm not crazy carnivore. I still added vanilla and stuff to things and
Hmm.
I added vanilla to my pancakes, so it was really good. But I'm 8 pounds inflammation down in 4 days of
Your
inflammation
body
of
loves.
water. It loves it. Loves it.
I have been struggling with for a long time since, the premenopausal thing, because I'm not
Mm,
quite at the day where the menopause is, right? Because menopause
yeah.
is one day and then it's postmenopause. And so I have been struggling with gaining weight and
Dude,
with
me too.
yes. And so I have not found a diet or a way of eating that has agreed with me in the inflammation yet. So I've been trying a few different things and I always err on the working out side and it's keeping things at bay, but
Yeah.
I have to work on the inflammation and like
This is
right
the
now
only thing that works on inflammation for me,
yeah, the carnivore way.
oddly enough. Yeah, high
Yeah.
fat. Well, for women, it's high fat. It's like 80% fat, 20% protein. So it's high good fats and a lot of protein.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's
Okay.
like instant inflammation goes away for me.
I love that for you.
Mhm.
That's yeah, because that's the whole, just feeling good in your body.
It is, and it's, again, unapologetically being you. Like, there's so many people who are against this, like, against meat, protein, whatever the case is. Everyone's got something about some diet, right?
Right.
And I think I mentioned to you before, my daughter's a vegetarian. Her and her boyfriend were vegan. So we are a very opposite end of the spectrum on what works for our body, but that really works for her and this really works for me. And we don't we don't clash on it. She supports me, I support her, and it works out really good.
Yeah, and so with me and you guys don't live together. So with me, with
No.
2 teenage daughters,
So
it
different.
really right? And so we've got, really pub pubescent children who
That's
are
such an old word. I
my
love
god,
it.
they're so hormonal and so moody
Right?
sometimes,
Oh
and
my god.
so I'm trying to get them to recognize that food is medicine, and so what do you need? Because if you're craving it or, especially if it's
Yeah.
like a good food, then that's what we have to have, and so sometimes and I've always said, "I am not a restaurant, you're gonna eat." I've said that, and now I'm just like, "But what do you need?" And so I'm
Yeah.
really trying to get them into that unapologetically them.
Yeah, honoring their body and their body's call for not the junk food stuff.
Right.
It's again, it's the difference between listening to self
Yeah.
and, like, higher self and the back of the brain that's like, "Have all the good little stuff that's not good for
Right.
you."
Right, and that's the thing, and the fast, the easy, especially with a busy
Yeah,
household like we have, but,
for sure. Yeah,
uh,
interesting. New year.
I know, new year, and I don't know, on a live or a podcast or something, and I think you and I had spoken about it on one of our lives, and we were talking about this being a 1 year, if you
Yeah,
add 2 plus the 0 plus the 2 plus the 6, it equals 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1, so it's starting a whole new chapter.
whole
Um,
new.
whole new and so I made me start thinking back to, okay, well, then last year was the 9, and what was the end of that cycle? The 2025 year was the end of that chapter, was
It
the end of
was of a 9-year cycle.
Right, and so
17. Where were you? What were you doing? What was life like?
and then so I actually thought back, and I was actually separating from my husband at the time.
No way.
Yes, I was, and I had 2 really young daughters, and it was a really scary thing because I had stayed home on maternity leave for the
Yeah.
first, 5 years of their life, and I was like, "Okay, for what, the reasons I chose, I was not staying in the marriage anymore, and it was just the beginning of this really scary adventure into I am now a mother and I am on my own. And what does this look like? It was a really, and so as these 9 years have gone on, who I was and who I am, like I was not doing any tarot reading. I was not tapping into my intuition. I was not, listening to my highest self.
I can't even imagine you like that, not being like that. Like, it's so crazy.
It is crazy. It was, and I call it 1.0 and 2.0, Gen
Yeah.
1.0, Gen 2.0.
Right?
It was such a huge difference in who I am, and so I'm really friggin' excited for what this new where am I going to be in 9 years? Where are we going to be in 9
In
years?
9 years. Oh,
So
and it went by quick, didn't it?
it's so
Like, it went by so quick.
where were you in 2017? What were you doing?
It was the beginning of a really huge turning point for both of Chris and I too. We were working in a company that did so many amazing things for us. It helped us learn self-development and it helped us learn self-value and worth, and there was so many good things and there was a lot of great people in there. I met Karen there. So there was so many good things, but by 2017, my entire body, like we talk about, my entire system was rejecting the whole thing. So I was, if you can imagine me, just poofed like moon face. Like, I mean, like my inflammation all over my body was just insane for no good reason. It's not like we ate poorly or anything like that, but my whole body was just rejecting where we were at and what we were doing. And um, it had to do with finance. So it was like so opposite my stuff. And we had put so much time into there. I think we were there for, I think, 5 years at that point, and we had put so much time into it and met so many good people. And there was, because it's an institution and there's so many institutions out there, it was so filled with a lot of guilt and shame. And if you don't do this, you're never going to get that, and da 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 da. And it wasn't a core function of how I wanted to operate in life. And I know it wasn't for Chris either. So that was the beginning of us both getting into a space of recognition that something was off, that something was totally off. And then that was the year that we started to think outside of the institution that we were in. And then it took another 2 whole years before we decided to say, "See ya."
Before the courage stepped in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the TSN turning point? What was the moment where you were like, "And cut. This is done."
The moment the moment we decided that we were both sitting in the backyard, it was a hot summer's day, and there was some text that had come through saying, "Why are you not at the office? Why are you not here? Why are you not there?" And we both looked at each other and we're like, "We're good. Like, that's it. Like, we're done." That was the TSN turning point. It was just like, we've always wanted to do things on our own terms, and that wasn't gonna allow us to doing things really on our own terms. It was projected that way, but it wasn't that way. And we were just done. That was it.
And were you scared? Like, "Well, what are we gonna
Fuck
do?"
you. You know me. I'm like, no, I'm not scared. I wasn't scared. I was just like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. And it was done, right? And that was it. No, I wasn't scared at all because I knew something better would come from it, which, I mean, it did all the way around. I even went and I was a medic for a while, which was super cool. Yeah.
You have had the coolest chapters. It's
I've
so
had so many chapters. I'm like the master. What's that saying? I'm
a
like
master of none or no, a jack of all what is that?
jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've thrown my, yeah, I mean, I've been a massage therapist in my past for 10 years. I know, right? Yeah, I was a retail manager. I've done so much stuff. It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. I love
Yeah,
like so many different hats. It's just
so many different hats.
which one was
And
your favorite?
none of them.
What about this hat?
This hat I love. Where I'm at right now, I love because I'm
Okay.
not wearing a hat. I'm still wearing 10 different hats and I shuffle through like 10 different hats. I am not one that can stick to a hat and that's it. Like I'm not one that can like none of them are my favorite. And it's such an honest thing to say is none of them were my favorite. And I did massage therapy for 10 years. I loved it. I still love it, but it's not like none of them are my favorite because I gained something out of all of them. But then when the chapters, that door's closed and the chapter's done, it's done and it's gone. It's such a weird thing. That's that whole apologetically being yourself, right? And that's in my human design and it's in my gene keys that you're not supposed to stick to one thing. You're always going to have two or three things on the go. So,
It's so impressive to me. This is part of another reason the 1,432,000 why I love you.
my God, I
Because
love you.
the courage that it takes to live that authentically, and I'm sure many of the listeners can, uh, maybe feel like you, but then maybe, and we're both the same human design. So this is the showing of self and not self, right?
Mm,
It just shows I am an educator. I've been an educator since I was in my early 20s.
bless you
I
for
went,
that.
right? I went to school, I did my thing, but I hate it.
See?
Something happened after COVID that I legit was like, this is not what I want to do. And so I have been, branching off and trying different hats,
Yes.
but still contained in the education system.
Yeah.
And I had such a passion for it. It was something that I've made it, a big name, and I've done my thing, and I have a very, very good reputation where I'm at and what I'm doing, but I'm just not that passionate anymore. And
Yeah.
so I show up and I do a great job and I love the
Of
kids,
course
and
you do.
but it's so I don't even know how to describe it. It feels like I'm so afraid of, well, first of all, I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
So I need an income, right? Going off and doing something
Anything.
willy-nilly without that paycheck coming in is something I'm
Totally.
terrified of. So when I
Yeah.
hear your story and I'm just like,
Well, let's like
yeah,
I'm blessed that Chris makes such a good income. Like I'm super blessed.
yeah,
That's a huge thing. Otherwise, yeah, I'd probably have to go put myself into something too, and I would if I had to.
you have to, yeah.
You have to. But the best part about your story is you've outgrown your skin and now you're going to come back like you're shedding your skin and you're growing a new one and you're in that in between stage,
And it's
which is
uncomfortable.
it's so uncomfortable.
So
It's always so
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like
it
so
is.
crazy.
It is. So I don't even know where we're heading. Like, where do you think, like, if you, because everybody likes to set resolutions. I hate resolutions.
Mm,
I part of the
you and me
January,
both.
yeah, is coming back to self. So the shedding
Yeah.
of the skin. I want to keep getting back to the closest version of me and my soul's journey that I can.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's not a resolution, but it's just the daily habit of being as authentic as possible and
mm,
listening to my higher self as much as possible. I mean, that hasn't always gone over well because Chris is a Virgo. He's a very different set of how life should look like in that. And he's not loved that I've never been able to settle into one thing, right? He's always been super supportive of everything, but oh my God, this man would love to see me settle into something, but he knows he just has to support me. Something's going to come up eventually that I'm like this podcasting. I love this. I could do this daily with you and be happy with that. Like be soulfully happy with that. Right. Cause it's just so authentic for both of us. But
yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting being that way. So I appreciate like your words of praise, but then like I've heard the other side of it.
Mm,
Right. Which is not always easy for your it's not always easy for your spouse or the person that you're with or whatever to watch you be the jack of all trades and the master of none,
mm.
right?
And I mean, I don't want to speak, but I can imagine, as much as I know your husband and I know he's like the biggest hype guy and
Oh,
adored
yeah,
you. I also can imagine that it's been at times challenging for the two of you to navigate through those uncomfortable times.
absolutely. The hardest part is having to stand in your authenticity when someone looks at you like you're not enough.
Ooh,
And it's yeah, and
that hit.
it can get there's moments of like deep heart not break, but deep heart wrench of not matching someone else's expectations or someone else's viewpoint. And then I always go back to, and him and I talk about all the time, is that is something on your end that you have to figure out because I'm long done performing
Mm.
based on anybody, including him. We both came into this marriage 100% me and 100% him, which we weren't 100% at the time, but we've grown into that. And now that takes a ton of recalibration, a lot, which is, I mean, to be expected.
Right. And this was he your second marriage?
No, he's my first.
He was your first. And
My
so
first and only.
how long have you guys been together?
It will be 25 years this August.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's getting to know the new versions and the recalibrated versions of each other,
Yeah. Not
and
only you have
that
to redate yourself 1,000 times,
yeah,
right? Your partner has to redate you 1,000 different times and learn the new versions of you 1,000 different times. But you have to do that for yourself too. You have to be okay with the 1,000 versions that come out
mm,
because we are remembering who we are,
yes, and that's the whole
right?
point, right?
Like, look at your journey in 9 years.
Can't believe
Like, if you can think about all the versions of yourself you had to, like, redate and remarry yourself 1,000 different times because it all came out way differently than you would have ever expected it to.
ever expected. That's
But
why, as
you would
much as I wanna kinda see into the future of, you know, okay, where am I gonna be in 9 years? I kinda don't want to because the ride was a fun one.
yeah, well, and exactly, think of what next 9 years is gonna be like, right? Like, it's so crazy. I always got I asked that question a lot. What do you regret in your life? That was one of a big question over the 10 years that we were in the company we're in. What do you regret? And I always said, "I don't regret anything." There's not one regret on my plate whatsoever because I couldn't be the person I am standing in front of the people that I'm standing in front of. So why have why regret anything? The good, the bad, the ugly, the fun, like, why regret any of it, right?
Yeah. I don't regret anything. I mean, I've made a ton of poor choices.
We all have. We 100% we all have,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the road of life though. That's like the school that we're in perpetually forever is can't I always said this I always say this to my kids. You can't gain knowledge by not going through stuff, right?
Exactly.
So you can't help other people and be of service to other people in the world unless you've gone through a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
And you have to. You have to go through the good and you have to go through the not so good. And the not so good is just a pendulum swing to the good. Like, it just makes good that much better.
That's right. That's right. And I say that to my students and my own children all the time. Without you cannot learn anything without first making the mistake.
No, no.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then often say, which is what you just said, you can't appreciate the good when when you don't have any bad.
Yeah,
And I hate the
100%,
judgment terms of good and bad. Cat hair flying everywhere. But it
right?
feels like you can't appreciate the highs without the lows.
Totally. Yeah. And just becoming that wise centered person as you grow older,
Yeah.
right? We're lucky enough we're going to come into these beautiful wise crone years with a ton of wisdom,
So true.
right? And
Yeah.
it's not done yet. We haven't stopped learning yet. It just keeps going.
I know. It's been a beautiful journey. So, wow. Yeah. So I don't know where these next 9 years are going, but I sure as well like the how it's starting.
Yes, me too. Absolutely. Me too. I've never ever taken a new year and started it with like a bunch of action because it's a new year. And I don't think we have either. This just kind of all fell into this space, which is super cool. It wasn't like we were looking for something in the new year to do and start in the new year and then that was all there. We literally just fell into this, just worked itself
Yes.
out how it
It
was
was
supposed
crazy.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I have learned over the past few years of this chapter was that I am very much um somebody who likes to take on and do new things,
Let
but
me ask you this. In this coming year, what can you take in your life that you semi dislike doing right now and turn it into a meditative state?
what can I take that I don't really like doing and start shifting my perspective on it?
Yeah.
I don't even know because I don't even know what I don't like. Let me think. What can I do? You know what I need to d okay, you know what I would like to do to get a
Mhm.
shift on a perspective is the fear that I
Okay.
have in terms of making a poor choice or making a mistake that it will be. And yet, I just said what I said about you can't grow without the mistakes. This is the humanness of me. And I'm
It's the
like, "Oh
humanness
my
of
god,
all of
I don't wanna
us.
keep I've made so many poor choices." Oh my god. But you know what? That's the point I think I was making before is this, there's so many paths that we can go, but what I have found is that when I let and I always, I hear the song by Carrie Underwood, "Jesus Take the Wheel." It doesn't necessarily
Always.
need to be Jesus.
Yes.
Whatever your highest, self is called, but when I let divine guide me
Yes.
instead of my ego or my bullheadedness or my stubbornness. So that's the one thing I would like to do is to continue to let go of the control.
I love it.
Ah,
That's such a big thing for everybody. And I don't think anybody really understands how much control we have over like, how much we control in our lives until you are given the ability to not be able to do that.
yeah.
I was
And
yeah. It was
that's one
so
thing my ex used to
yeah.
say to me all the time. He would call me, he's like, "You're such a control freak." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am. You're right. I am." And there's
And I'm
trauma
gonna
from my
own it.
childhood, and there's
Yeah,
lots of reasons why I'm like this. But
totally.
that's the one thing that I'm gonna take and
I
really
love that.
focus on and on letting go because I say it to people all the time and I have to start being more authentically living it. And I do,
Yeah.
but we fall off into the
Everybody
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody does. Because it's your ego wants something to attach itself to.
Mhm.
It doesn't like the willy-nilly of just sitting in everything all of the time,
Yeah.
right?
Consistency, consistency. You did this before it worked. You did this before it worked.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you? What are you gonna
One of the things I totally disliked doing in the house was dishes. I hated sitting at that kitchen sink. You know, the kids are young and you got like 16 loads of dishes to do a day. And I would start to get really like angry and resentful inside every time I had to do it because all my thoughts went back to, oh my God, I've been doing this since I've been like 8 years old. I used to do it for the 8 people that we used to grew up with, right? I was the youngest. I got stuck doing a lot of dishes and I'm still doing it how many years later?
yeah.
And then I don't know what it was. Something clicked one day. I was in meditation, I think, and something clicked in that meditation that said, why isn't everything that you're doing a meditation? And I was like, that's an interesting thought. So when I got to the dishes that day and I started doing the dishes, I'm like, why can't this be a meditation? Why can't the cleansing of the water, the sound of the water, me staring outside because there's the window right there, and whatever else is going on around the house, but why can't that all be, instead of being aggravation and anger and resentment and everything, why can't I turn that into a state of just being in a state of meditation? Why is there something attached to it? So the minute that I figured that out, washing dishes became something very spiritual. It became something very easy for me to do, and I never had resentment with it again. I never had anger with it again. So that's where that came from because I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, that was a crazy turning point for me for doing the mundane things in the house,
Yeah.
right? That I think every mother goes through, right? Whether it's loads of laundry or whether it's whatever. But I was like, I'm going to choose to change the spirit of that. And then it got easy, and weirdly enough, everybody started to help after that because I wasn't stuck in this energy bubble of it's mine to do. That whole control thing of it's mine to do and
Yeah.
only mine to do. So the kids started to help and Chris started to help. So it was super interesting. So this year for me, I think it's the same as you. It's just giving up the control of trying to control what's not controllable, which is pretty much
Mm.
everything. Surrender is a Have you ever read The Surrender Experiment?
No.
Shout out to the author of The Surrender Experiment. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. You need to read it. It's
Okay.
an incredible book, and I go back to it all the time because he surrendered to like the thousandth degree, and everything he ever wanted to say no on, he said yes to. So think about that. Think of all the things in a day that you say no to or want to say no to. He never did. He said yes to everything. He had someone move on in on his land, and he said yes. He allowed it to happen. He said yes, and it all worked out. It's so crazy. So surrendering.
That's so interesting.
Sorry, that was a long story.
No, I love that. I absolutely love that. Authenticity is to sit with self and really focus on, is this a yes, or is this like a hard no, and trusting my intuition with that. So to surrender means completely giving up the control, knowing that if it's coming into your life, it's just you trust in
Yes.
the divine timing of it all.
His whole story is exactly that, and it's intensely crazy. And I struggle with that daily because I'm like, I'll get someone who'll say, "Can I come over?" And
No.
if I'm in super surrender, it would be, "Of course you can." But often it's, "No, I like my bubble, I like my space." So it's like it's a str it's an intense thing to do. So out of all the things I think that I can work on this year, that's probably the biggest one, is surrendering and just saying yes as much as humanly possible without making myself ill.
I love that. I love
As
that.
long as my higher self is
And
not
listening.
yeah, as long as my higher
Right.
self is not absolutely screaming,
Yeah.
like, "Don't put your feet in the water," you know,
Yeah.
like, that kind of thing, but to an
Yeah.
extent of surrendering of all that, like, just like we did with the podcast. "Hey, wanna do a podcast?" "Yes." Boom,
Okay.
done. We did it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was just easy.
Yeah, I love that for you. Okay, so I'm gonna try and hold you accountable, and
Okay.
you're gonna try and hold me accountable.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I'd love to hear from our viewers what for them is their thing. I think that'd be cool, so if you comment below, it'd be awesome to find out what other people are working on that's far outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
Because these 2 are far outside our comfort zone. The whole
Really?
control thing I get. I snapped a tendon in my leg one day, running to the door to see Chris because 'cause I'm that kinda weirdo wife,
Yeah.
and I snapped this tendon, and I was out for 5 days. I could not freaking move, and that was the moment I realized how much control I thought I needed. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't get his coffee, I can't go in the kitchen, I can't get me coffee, I can't make breakfast, I can't do anything." It was so bizarre on the, like, unraveling of my mind and all the things that I controlled or I thought I needed to control.
I That's amazing because that's exactly it. And then you're like, "Well, why did that happen? And why did it happen then?" And,
Yeah,
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 yeah.
which was between 2017 and 2019.
Interesting.
Yeah,
At the very
yeah,
beginning of that chapter.
at the very beginning of that chapter, the very, very beginning. Yeah.
It made when you were talking about how you're like, "Can people come over?" I have legit this is so sad. People
We
knock on my
love our
door.
friends, by the way.
Pardon?
I said we love our friends and
Yeah,
family,
yeah,
by the way.
we love you. But I've had, like, people, like neighbors and stuff, knock on my door, or, like
Yeah.
friends who've come over for a surprise. "We're coming over for a swim in your pool." And I'm like, I legit am hiding and crawling on the floor going, "Please go away." And
Okay,
I'm
I
like,
think I need to edit this part out.
"Kids,
They're gonna know you're they're gonna know you.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
That's so funny.
Shut up, kids. Don't say anything. Everybody get down."
That's so awesome. But when you're you know what? When you're an empath, when you're an intuitive, and when you're surrounded by spirit all day long, it feels like you have a party all the freaking time.
It's so noisy. It's like,
It's
"Oh
so
my god."
noisy some days, like, so
Yeah,
noisy some days.
it is.
And I have been learning to say yes, and I have been learning to say no. I think no is just as valuable as saying yes. Maybe not in the surrender portion of things, but again, in listening to higher self. So I have always not been great at not people pleasing. People
Mm,
pleasing, right? That's like an intuitive thing to do.
yeah.
Like for intuitives, we do a lot of people pleasing.
Yes.
And for about probably the last year and a half, I've like literally baby stepped it where it would be like the uncomfortable, okay, no, I don't want to go do that.
Yeah.
Right? From the most, like, closest person to me who would say, "Let's go shopping," or "Let's do whatever," or "Let's go have a girls' day," or whatever, and I would always do it, but then I'd feel like crap later, that whole higher self of, ignoring your intuition and all of that kinda stuff. So I think just this probably the last few months, I think I've gotten really good at it's super cut and dry of, "No, I'm not good today, period." right? I don't have to explain, and I don't explain anything else.
That's it.
And the feedback I thought I would get would be horrible, but the feedback that I've gotten is everyone that I've come in contact with that I've done that with, they're more just cut and dry. It's a lot easier for them to say no or yes or whatever the case is. So it's like a direct reflection on that authenticity of being able to say, no, not today,
Right.
right?
And that is so important for me to not explain, because I'm still explaining and over explaining everything, why I can't,
Yeah.
because I feel horrible for
I know. Yes, I know. But that's part of the stage. That's part of the stage. I was there too. I totally get it. And I'm sure our
yeah,
viewers are there too, where over explanation feels easier than just saying no. But
yeah,
you don't have to over explain. Again,
yeah.
we're going to give permission for you to just not do the thing and be okay not doing the thing. And the person on the other side will deal with it however they're meant to deal with it. It'll bring up for them however that will go for them. And that is, I always say this, you cannot save people from their lessons, right? Good, bad, and otherwise. You just, even your kids, you cannot save your kids from the lessons they're supposed to learn. It's impossible.
That and in fact, I would even take it a step further, because I think they're there to hold up the mirror, to
Oh
give you
gosh,
that,
yeah. Oh my
right?
gosh, yeah. Yeah, you wait till your daughters are adults. Talk about mirrors.
Lord, I said, "No,
Yeah, my
I already got
daughter,
lots of mirrors, okay? See."
yeah, I know. You wait till they're older. My daughter is the best mirror in the world. She's so successful. She travels the world. I mean, she has done everything in her life by the age of 25 that I ever had in my heart to go do. And she is the biggest mirror for me all the time. Like in the
You
best
did good,
in the
mama.
yeah, in the best way. I know I've got that like I'm so proud and then I'm like what the hell's wrong with you that you're not going to do or you're not doing the same thing, right? So it's such a good mirror on so many levels and her just existing pushes me quite far, which is good.
Shout out to
I
all
love
our
you, Daytree.
I know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all our babies.
I know
Yeah,
all our babies.
all our babies.
So
Yeah.
they're super big mirrors when they're teenagers. God help you, you got 2, right? I'm an empty
One is
nester now.
exactly like me, and one is complete opposite of me, but the one that it's the
Same
opposite of me
yeah.
is that's the one I'm learning the most from.
Of course, totally. Like,
Yeah.
totally. My daughter's got, like so my son is exactly like me, and our
Mhm.
daughter is a lot like Chris, and they're both Virgos 7 days apart, which is insane to me. But I mean, they're both mirrors in different ways.
Well,
My
that's it.
son shows me how lazy I am, let's put it that way. Like, he I'm like I always say to him, I'm like, "I'm sorry you got all of me." Right? Like, we could sit and do nothing for, like, a decade and be
Yeah,
fine with it. I'm
yeah.
sorry about that. You have no motivation. Neither do I. I don't have a lot.
Or we'll turn that perspective and we'll look at it from a place of you recognize how important rest is.
Oh, totally. But you know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
You're like, "I wish you
Uh,
had more motivation, but I know
yeah,
you get it from me, and I can't crucify you for it because
yeah,
you literally are me."
yeah,
It's like the opposite mirror that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
My oldest right now is a big mirror for my shadows. It's quite yeah,
Fun.
it's quite beautiful, quite frustrating. And the best part that I have, and I don't know if you were like this when you were growing up with your parents. We didn't talk about it. If we did something, made a mistake, or if it was always looked upon with such judgment or shame,
Oh,
rejection. It was those lower
massively.
vibrations, right? And so
Yes.
now I will be, I'll make I'll say something that I shouldn't have said, and it's all about restoration. Or I'll do
Yes.
something that I regret doing, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go fix it. We don't just bury it and pretend that nothing happened. And so the modeling that I'm having to do is really uncomfortable because I want to just bury it because that's what we've always done.
Yeah.
But it's starting to show, how I am those kinds of shadows, those kinds of really parts that I wanted to kind of keep buried, or I'll make a mistake. And so now we're actually turning it around and making it okay. It's been a long of time. I've made the restoration, or she has, right? We both made the
Yeah.
mistake, and we've come back and we've apologized and we've made really like amends
Yeah.
and forgiven. And then it's hysterical because now we'll bring it up 2 years later and we're laughing because mom did this and said this. And it was so, and if people are and I'm
Right?
like, no, no, I did. I really did do that. But I like mom of the year.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we all do it though.
That's
We
it.
all do it.
And it's that hidden secrecy that makes it feel the shame or the judgment connected to it.
For sure.
When you can
For sure, for
share so
sure.
openly, it's kind of like, well, okay, I did that too.
You know what? Yeah, sharing openly. That's one thing I always had said to the kids from when they were little is, "A, you don't have to lie to me. Just whatever. Tell me whatever it is. If I find out you're lying, there's gonna be more problems. Just I'm like, I've been there, done that, done everything. Just let's just talk it out." So I was very fortunate that they listened to that. They're even in their teenage years and they would come for everything and anything. But oh my God, they had the crazy mom of watching them walk out the door and wondering where they were gonna be, and we had some good fights. We had some good there was one time Chris came home from work, and I was in a dark bathroom in a shower just bawling my eyes out because I had this huge fight with my daughter, and he walked in, he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Just being a bad mom." Like, I felt
Yeah.
so guilty, right? And then but we same thing. You go back, you talk about it, you make amends, you get over it, and then
Yeah.
you can figure it out later. Like, you
Yeah.
get to have the laughs with it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parenthood is parenthood is not easy. Parenthood in perimenopause, I mean, like I said, bless you 1,000 times over. I'm glad
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm glad mine are out and I'm an empty nester. I mean, it's got other stuff, but yeah, I couldn't imagine because 'cause you're going through your own teenagehood in perimenopause. Literally, you're like this new teenager of a whole
Yeah.
different level of things.
Yeah.
So now
My hormones are
mom's
crazy. My
exactly.
brain is crazy.
Mom's a teenager and you got 2 teenagers.
Yeah.
Like,
A
yeah,
lot of hormones in here.
honestly.
It was a wonderful day the other day. My ex showed up and he could hear me screaming from out in the car. And he's like, "Is everything okay?" He called. He's like, "Is everything okay in there?" And Ella's like, "Yeah, yeah, we're fine." He's like, "Your mom doesn't sound too fine." He's like, "Ah, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine."
Jeez.
I was like, "Oh my God." Like that was another raging moment that I'm like, what is going on with my
Yes.
life right now?
Well, let's talk about the rage and where it comes from. I know our viewers in this stage have had rage. It literally comes out of nowhere for no good reason
No,
whatsoever. Like,
I had like
none.
I've had episodes where I'm outside of my body going, "You're losing it over a dish not being put away?" Or,
Thank you, exactly.
"What are you doing?" And then you're like, "You can't stop. You
You
just can't
can
stop."
you cannot stop it. You
Yeah.
cannot stop it. And
Yeah.
the only perspective I have on that is all the buried shit
Yeah. Right?
that we have, I mean, are probably our generations and generations have buried and buried and buried.
Absolutely.
And we just need to give ourselves some grace. When it happens,
Yes.
we
Yes,
just need
and
to give
that's the
ourselves
big
some
thing.
grace.
And that's it, without looking at it with the shame or the judgment. I just think about it like a cup. And like sometimes that one little extra drop is like,
Yeah, it's like a volcano. It's like the thing that sets the volcano off.
it's empty now. We're fine. So I have had one panic attack a long time ago, years and years and years ago. And I think I just had one the other day. It was after I had found out some information about my daughter and, not telling the truth or not
Yeah,
like there was a lot that day. And
yeah.
I just was like, I can't even take another drop in my bucket.
Mhm.
And I was just overwhelmed with this feeling of sitting on my chest and couldn't catch my breath. And it just was so dysregulated. I was like, what is going on? So I think it was a panic attack. I'm not sure, but what about you? Have you ever
Yeah.
had one?
I've had 2 probably over the last 3 or 4 months, and I mean, I can't even believe how quickly it comes. It's like one thought triggers it. The
Eh,
last time I had it, it was about Chris had to leave the house for something, and I literally had this, like, full-blown panic attack where same thing, I could not breathe, I could not catch a breath. I, actually, went and sat with him on the couch, and I'm like, "I am having a full-blown panic attack about you walking out of the house." And I'm like, "It is so nonsensical." Like, my brain could understand that it was so nonsensical, but my
yeah.
body did not care. My body was completely into it as if, he was gonna be murdered if he walked out the door. Like, it was so crazy. So I had to do the same kind of breath work that you taught on yoga. I did that kind of breath work to come out of it, but that's new.
And what do you attribute it to? Like, what do you think it was from? Do you think perimenopause?
Well, I think it's a fluctuation of hormones, but I think, well, I mean, good God, that shows the power of the mind. Because I had thought about him leaving the house for half of a second, and that's it just woof, and it went into that. Like, talk about the power of the mind, creating what doesn't need to be created.
Or it's unbelievable that you're even saying that because it has both effects, right? It has the effect of creating something from nothing or the opposite, which is being able to shut out things that you actually need or
Yes.
yeah. It's just
Making you ignore your higher self.
exactly. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, so it's very different. Very different. This whole world's very different. Not bad, not horrible, just
Nope.
different.
Yeah. And we're getting through it.
We
One chat at a time.
One chat at a time. So, if you've been going through hot flashes and panic attacks and whatever else, you're not alone.
Stay with us because we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. We are gonna unlayer it one little tiny layer and little bow at a time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Totally.
Well, my love, it was so good to chat with you today.
Yes.
I am so excited for our next time together.
Me too. Thank you for watching Midlife with Mystics and Misfits, and we hope that you get to be a part of our community in being a mystic or a misfit. So subscribe, like, comment, leave us some comments. Let us know how you fit into the dialogue today would be great. I think the more we build community, the better this gets. So, and that's what we're looking for is let's build community.
Yeah. I
Until
would
next time.
until next time. All right, take care, honey.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.